this view you see the DVM we're going to use for the tuning. This is an IMPS with the bottom plate removed, so you can see the circuit board, the two test points, the connector where power and the signal come in. This is a bottom plate installed with the rubber stopper removed. This is the bottom plate when it's completely sealed. This keeps the dust and moisture out. For tuning, you'd either remove this plug and insert your probes into the hole with the adjustment screwdrivers, or if you remove the whole bottom plate, you can see the same view that you would see through the hole. It's just easier to see in this video. So the same type of orientation will be presented whether you look through the hole or you have the bottom plate removed. So what I'm doing now is I'm connecting the positive and the ground of the DVM in DC measurement mode, and I expect to see, when the sensor is tuned correctly, about 800 millivolts. I always like to take the range and only display 2 digits, since those are the only 2 digits that are significant. During the tuning process, we're going to be doing 5 steps and using 2 screwdrivers, a tan and a blue one. The 5 steps involve switching back and forth through the screwdrivers to make the right voltage settings on the display. So the first step is take the tan screwdriver, find the potentiometer, which is to the left of this bright LED. The green LED is illuminating the adjustment area. Right above the LED is a tube. That tube is for the blue screwdriver with the narrow tip so that it can fit inside the tube, and the flat end of the tan screwdriver is used to adjust the potentiometer. So the first step is to adjust the potentiometer until it reads 5 volts. So you notice that as I turn it clockwise, I get an increasing voltage. I am now trying to find the slot. I found the slot, and as I turn clockwise to 5 volts, and it's 5 volts approximately. In this case it was exactly 5 volts. The next step is we want to find the most negative voltage using the capacitor adjustment. So we're going to adjust the capacitor to the most negative voltage that can be adjusted to. So as you see, the most negative voltage, and if I continue in a counterclockwise, what's important on the capacitor is that we care about the direction of rotation. This rotation direction is counterclockwise and this direction is clockwise. I'm turning counterclockwise and I continue to turn counterclockwise, and you'll see that the voltage will start increasing. As I turn clockwise, it starts decreasing to the level of 4.5 volts, and if I continue turning clockwise, it will start increasing again above 4.5 volts. And that is showing us that we're at the peak negative voltage. It's like tuning the frequency on the radio dial. We're trying to find the right frequency point. So there's the 4.4 volts, which is the most negative voltage. You can leave this in or remove it at your discretion. I'm leaving it in this example, and I'm adjusting the potentiometer to restore a 5 volt level. I'm turning it clockwise to increase it to 5 volts. If I turn it counterclockwise, I decrease the voltage. So in this case, I'm turning it clockwise. So once I've achieved a 5 volt adjustment, I'm going to now return to the blue screwdriver. We call it a tweaker as well, and I'm going to adjust the screwdriver clockwise, and it's very important that you go clockwise. Go. So here you see that the final adjustment value is 5.5 volts using the capacitor adjustment blue screwdriver. The importance of adjusting in a clockwise direction is evidenced by turning the counterclockwise direction, and you'll find that we can go negative to 5 volts, which was our original starting point, and if we continue rotating the screwdriver in a counterclockwise direction, you can see that we will start increasing again. So this is that negative peak, and it goes positive in a V-type adjustment range. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to find the negative peak and then adjust it positively in a clockwise direction by 0.5 volts. So we're going to repeat that process. So we're starting at 5.0 and we're turning the blue tweaker clockwise until we see a 5.5 volt display, and that now has adjusted the frequency correctly. So I'm going to remove my blue screwdriver and do our final adjustment, which is to restore the DC level, which is what the potentiometer is doing, to the 0.8 volts, which is our final target voltage. And this is a counterclockwise adjustment. And you see that I am at 0.8 volts DC, and 0.8, 0.1, 0.7, 0.81 to 0.79 are acceptable.